Welcome back to another Friday Sews. Today is a special edition Friday Sews. I wasn't going to do Friday Sews this week, but Jen and Today in Jen's Sewing Room had got a new hashtag going, and it's the hashtag Get to Know Me. And since everybody else is doing their videos, I thought, people might be curious to know what my answers are. There's 10 questions, and I will just jump right in. Name, April. I'm sure you probably heard me say that a million times. Where are you from? I was an Army brat growing up, and my dad settled down in Texas, and I've been here ever since. I met my husband in Texas, and we had our children, and I have my granddaughter here in Texas too. So Texas is our home, and we're in the northern part of Texas. So, okay, number 3. How long have you been sewing? I have been basically sewing, okay. So, the first time I remember anything sewing related in my life was my mom had a old Treadle sewing machine, and she only probably used it this one time. But she got a sheet, and I will never forget, it was like a lime green and had flowers all over it. And she folded it over, sewed it on the top, and made it a curtain. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then when I got to home ec in high school, I think it was high school, it could have been junior high, I don't know, we basically only sewed one pillow, and it was the shape of an ice cream, and we learned how to hand stitch the applique on. And then after that, I didn't sew anything until I had young children. My husband is a factory worker, and so we didn't have a whole lot of money, so I would sew my children some clothes so they had new clothes to go to school with. And then when they got a little bit older, I would make some costumes and stuff. And that was probably about 20 years ago, and then, well, 21 years ago, because it was in 2000. And then I stopped sewing. I did make them some quilts too, I'll add that. And I also didn't know about the quarter inch seam until years later, so their quilts were just pieces of stuff pieced together, but it worked. And then I think it was about 3 years ago I started sewing for myself, and then I only sewed some leggings and a dress, and it was a big 4 pattern, and the leggings fit great, but the dress was way off, and I was really intimidated. And then I think it was about a year and a half ago, I decided to go ahead and start sewing for myself again, and I started watching a lot of the Elliot Mack tutorials, and I got a serger, and let me tell you, a serger is a game changer. Like, I love my serger. Okay, I think I'm going to go too far in before I go to the next question. The next one is, oh no, I'll get to that in a minute. 4. What are your machines? Okay, we have a whole list of sewing machines, so I will just be inserting the pictures of the sewing machines here, hopefully in order of what I'm telling you they are. My first sewing machine, the one I got in the year 2000, my mom actually helped me and my younger sister buy the same sewing machine. It was a Kenmore, back when Sears was around. I don't remember the model. On the back it says 385 something, and I guess that was the base model of it. I don't know. But that's the sewing machine I had for like 20 years. I love that machine. I mean, I still have the machine, and it's a good machine, and it still works. And then I just randomly have these on here. These are not in the order that I got the machines. Then I have a Brother SQ9185. That machine is my favorite machine that's for sewing. That machine has a needle up down. Wait, does that one? Yes. It has a button where if you don't want to use the foot, you can sew with just your finger. And I did that for a while too. I sewed on my coffee table because the house I lived in was really tiny, and that was how I could sew. And it also has a one-step button holder, which is amazing. I love that. Okay, another one I have, which I'm sure you see my cover stitch on it all the time. This one underneath this cabinet is a Singer 99K. When I got it, we got it at a thrift store at a really good price, and all I needed to do was change the light bulb, and my husband rewired it, and it's a nice running machine. I also have a dressmaker. It's a heavy duty deluxe. It's, when I bought it, I didn't know that the knob, the tension knob on it was broke. And so I did order a special knob from, I found a group on Facebook, and I ordered the knob and everything, and it works. I just don't have it in a cabinet. I need to get a cabinet for it. There's another machine we have. It's a old Kenmore in a cabinet, but that one's my husband's. It's not pictured in here. And then I have another Kenmore that's an old one on my porch. My mom and dad's house had caught fire, and then when they both passed, I took that machine, but I told my younger sister I would go ahead and give it to her because she needs a sewing machine, so I have that for her. Let's see, I also have a Brother PQ 1500 SL. This machine, if I had to say that I regretted buying a sewing machine, it would be that machine. And I know it's crazy because everybody on the sewing forums love this machine. It's the best machine ever. It could be possibly user error. It could be possibly that my granddaughter, the second day I got it, took the whole tension knob and had it on pieces, and I had to put it back together. Now, saying that, it does sew bags very nicely, and it does sew, like if you're quilting and you're sewing like regular woven material, it does fantastic. The problem I have with it, PQ, the Q part is for quilting. I wanted to use it for my free motion quilting because it has a deeper throat on it. I did not know. A lot of people are saying that you need to buy these two Janome, I believe it is, feet, just to be able to get it to free motion. Now, it's like another $100 or $150 to get these feet to get it free motioning, and I paid a lot of money for that machine. I don't really feel the need to pay another $100 to be able to free motion, so I'm on the fence of, do I just spend that $100 and get that on a machine that I'm really not that thrilled of, or do I just sell it? And my other machine that I'm thinking about getting is a Juki DDL 8700, and I believe I can get that to free motion. If anybody knows 100% sure that it does work good for free motion, let me know, because I have the money for it, and that's the only reason I haven't bought it, is because the Brother machine is a straight stitch and just like an industrial, but I don't want to spend that kind of money on something else that isn't going to work for what I want it to work for. So I don't know. Every time I end up sewing something with free motion on my quilting, which I only quilt a few times a year, I always end up on my SQ9185, which it's a great machine. It free motions beautifully, but it has a really small throat, and when you're trying to get all that material in there, it makes it difficult. Okay, so I also have an embroidery machine. It's a Brother PE 535. And last time I went to use it, I was going to put a quilt label on, and I don't know if it was the font I used or what. I don't know. Maybe I need to clean the machine or change the thread or something. It didn't want to work right. So I just ended up using my scan and cut machine. I just put a vinyl label on it and I called it good to go. Okay, so then I also have a Singer Heavy Duty 4423. That's a really good machine. I was very surprised. I had bought it to make bags. It was before I got my PQ 1500 SL, and it was really good. I loaned it to my sister, and she used it to make, she reupholstered her seats on her boat with it. Like, it was a good machine. The last time I used it, I don't know, maybe it was me. It was like one of those days where I was sewing a project and the machine just like, that one went like clunk, clunk, clunk. I tried to fix it and it didn't want to work. And then I went to my other machine, it didn't work. And then I went to another one. I was just done. I told my husband, I said, I am done. I don't know what I did wrong. So I need to just take the whole shuttle out and figure out what needs to be done, because that's the machine that my youngest daughter does want, and if I can't get it fixed, then I'm probably going to have to put it in a shop just to have them see what needs to be done, because I don't know. And then I have a Serger. It's a Brother 1034D. My favorite machine ever, ever, ever. If you were ever thinking about getting a Serger and you're on the fence, get a Serger. It is so worth it. It is so amazing. And I do have a video if you need to know how to thread the Brother 1034D. I do have a video on that. And then I also have a Brother cover stitch. It's the 2340 CV. And if you're having problems with that, trying to release the fabric, because that's the #1 problem people have with that machine, I have a video on that too, and I hope it helps. And then the last two machines I'm going to count because they're in my house right now and my granddaughter doesn't have them. I have them for my granddaughter. The one I taught her to sew when she was about 4, and it was a little bitty tiny Singer toy like sewing machine, but it actually did make stitches. Well, I don't know if it's really stitches or what, but it had like the loops on the bottom and then the stitch on the top. But she did learn, you know, she learned don't put your fingers in there, and she learned how to use the material. And then I had to put it up because she was so addicted. Every time she'd come over, she was like, Gigi, me sew, me sew. And I was like, okay, so I had to put it up. And then I would have her use my Brother SQ9185 whenever she would come over. And then I asked her, I said, so when you're 6, I can buy you a sewing machine, right? And she goes, no, I need to be 7, Gigi. And I was like, okay. So I bought her a sewing machine when she was 7 last year. And it is a LX3817A. And it's kind of a like baby blue machine, and it's got hearts on it. I thought it was so cute. It is on my machines. And let's see where I'm at here. I told y'all this. I should have told y'all this is going to be a long video. Number 5, self-taught or formal classes. Like I said, I had, I think I mentioned, I did have the home ec class, and it was just to sew a pillow. I don't think that really counts as classes. I did go 1 year to a quilting class with a friend of mine. I just went to one class. I didn't know about the quarter inch seams, and that's basically all I learned that day was you're supposed to use a 1/4 inch seam. And then I thought, I'm good. I could figure this out. And then I started watching YouTube videos, and then I learned how to do free motion from watching Angela Walters and all the other YouTubers on there. And that's all the classes I really had. Everything else I self-taught myself. I would get the package from the Big Four, and I would learn how to do it, and that's just what I did. And then, yeah, that's what I did, is I just taught myself. It would have been nice if I would have had someone that knew how to sew and show me how to do stuff, but I didn't have that. And we didn't have YouTube and stuff like that when I was learning. Alright, number 6, knit or woven. Now, I learned with woven, but I love my knits. Saying that, I would say, okay, I do love knits. That's my passion. But I do want to go back into some of the woven and learn how to do more fitting and stuff. So I'm kind of in a cross on that. But I do love my knits. I love my knits. Number 7, Big Four or indie. I learned a lot from Big Four, but I did learn a lot from the indie patterns as well. Up till a few years ago, I didn't know what indie was, and then I discovered like Ellie and Mac and all that, and I was like, oh, that's indie. It's independent designers and stuff. So I was just like, okay, that's what everyone's calling indie, because I thought it was some kind of Indian like designer and a certain person or something. I didn't know. But I would have to say I do like the fit more on the indie patterns. The Big Four, I think, is really great for teaching you how to learn how to fit on your body. And I have a million patterns from both, from the indies and the Big Four. So I don't know. Like I said, I love the indie patterns. So Ellie and Mac is my favorite. This is a Ellie and Mac shirt, since I didn't mention. This was the Autumn Spice, and I just taped all the pieces in, made it a shirt. Okay, number 8, online shopping or in store. I do like going in store, but as far as fabric shopping, oh, y'all know I love fabrics.com, and yes, I have more fabric, and I need to do another fabric haul. So we'll just say online. Number 9, favorite sewing task. Now, that one kind of puzzles me, because I know a lot of people are saying ironing. I don't like ironing. I do it out of necessity. I would say, for me, pinning. Because when you're doing neck bands and stuff, you have to pin in certain areas to know where you're going to put your material. Anything else, like when you're sewing, you need to pin it to be able to sew it, and I guess that's my favorite task. Best advice, I would say, don't give up. We all fail. We all make mistakes, and the only way we learn how to grow and get better at something is to fail and make mistakes. That's like when I told my granddaughter, when I was teaching her how to sew, I handed her a seam ripper and I said, this is going to be your new best friend, because you will make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You just have to keep going, and then you'll learn what you need to do it the right way. So that's my advice. And then there's a bonus question. How did you find out about the hashtag Friday Sews? Of course, I've had Jen as a YouTuber on my list for years, and I saw Stephanie Farrell Focus had mentioned that she was doing Saturday sewing, and then Jen told her that, hey, you should use the Friday Sews hashtag. And then she said that, Jen was welcoming other people to do that. And I thought, wow, okay, that might be something I'm interested in. So that's how I learned that. I hope everybody has found this at least a little bit entertaining or fun. I hope you like some of my machines. That's what I have. And if you have any advice on a industrial machine, any takes on that, what you think, please let me know down below, because like I said, I'm at a standstill. I just don't know if I could do the free motion on it. I think that would probably be the deal breaker for me. But I don't know. I just want to say thank y'all so much for stopping by, and y'all have a very great day. Bye.